So I had a bit of a moment recently. Yeah, one of those. Hi vloggers, welcome back to ABOH TV. So I had a bit of a moment recently. I don't remember where I was or what I was doing, but I do remember the thought process around it. You see, I'm starting to work on this really big project for a branch of Holly, and I was thinking about this really sad situation that people get themselves in when they decide not to do something because they're so worried about what other people are going to think. You've seen the title of this video, and let me just put a disclaimer out there because I don't think this is ever fully possible. I always fall back into the comparison trap from time to time, but I did have a moment where I thought about how much we can actually compare ourselves to others and what this does to us. So today I want to talk about this. I want to talk about how you can get out of the comparison trap, and you might be surprised at some of the things I'm going to talk about. Before we get started, make sure you subscribe to this channel. I upload new videos every Tuesday and Friday, and you definitely won't want to miss the next one. So like I said, I was thinking about what people think about when they want to do something, and they think, oh well, I'll never be able to do that because she's so much better than me, or I'll never be able to run a business like she does. And it got me thinking about what I do in this situation, because I have to make decisions on a daily basis for my personal brand and my business to help me get towards my next breakthrough. I've had to overcome comparing myself to others so I can put out what I put out there into the world. But then when I thought about it, I actually put myself into the comparison trap every single day. Honestly, when you're young, you're very impressionable. And it was high school for me when I really started to compare myself. You know, I wasn't in the popular crowd. I wasn't part of the girl group who used to hang out with all the boys. I didn't really know where I fitted in. And because of this, whatever your situation, you don't know how to handle it, and other people don't know how to handle it either. So this whole time, you're constantly comparing yourself to others because you don't know where you fit in. But the reasoning behind it is because I was trying to figure out so much, and I've really taken that with me into my career today. And I think that's quite a big part of why I do what I do, which is to coach other bloggers and business owners to help them build their personal brand. But my point is, I wanted to show that I was so sure of myself that I didn't have to compare myself to others. And I think you go through a lot of different stages in your life where you're trying to do that. But then you get to an age where you know you don't have to prove that. It's not necessary. I had to compare myself a lot to get to this point where I love the work that I'm doing and feel confident in my decisions. And I love how great that feels, mainly because I don't think a lot of people would have expected this from me. I was always really quiet, and I think a lot of people thought that I would just get a job and be on my way and not go down a risky route. And it feels good that I do what I do, and I can tell and show people that. You spend so much time comparing yourself to others that you need to completely ignore that in order to be able to make a decision and feel completely confident with it. So to put it in short and simple terms, how do you get out of the comparison trap? You use the energy of what's happening around you. You use the energy of what's happening when you compare yourself and put it towards making a decision or taking action. Anything that's going to get you towards your next breakthrough that you'd be super proud to tell people about. When you get to that point and you're working on something that makes you feel so happy and fulfilled, you'll have very little time to compare yourself. And it's really not about comparing yourself to everyone. It's about comparing yourself to the same people who have no impact on your life whatsoever. If you compare yourself to the wrong people constantly, that's when it becomes a problem. And right now, it's scary for me But I honestly don't have time to compare myself. I want results, and I'm only going to get those results by taking action. I barely have time to make my lunch during the day. That's why I meal prep on a Sunday. I just thought if I could tell someone that it is possible to get out of the comparison trap, you have to admit that you're in it in the first place. But the fact that you recognize that you're in it right now is a huge step, and you can use that energy and direct it into something else. And that's the main thing I've done to get out of the comparison trap, and that's to take action. Think about what you would be so proud of achieving, and if you're so proud of that, you won't compare yourself to anyone. And that's the moment that I had. So the realization that you have to admit that you're in the comparison trap before you can actually start to get out of it. I know it might sound so obvious, but I had to share that with you. But it's actually like a weight has been lifted off your shoulders, and it's okay because we're all human. We all get into the comparison trap from time to time, and it's okay to be there. And when you start struggling with these feelings, just think how good the outcome will be. And when you don't care, that's a really good moment. Again, I don't think that's the only straightforward answer, but I think it's really important to point out. Maybe you're comparing yourself to someone right now, and maybe you feel like you don't have a good enough excuse to get out of that. Know that you have to be there in the first place to get out. But you're the only one that can get past that. It's not their problem. It's yours. So here's your question. Well, actually, there's two. Have you ever not made a decision because you were comparing yourself to others? And if so, when you think about who you were comparing yourself to, do they really matter in your life? So put that answer in the comments below, and your answer should either be a combination of yes and yes, or yes and no, because it's not just a no. You know that every single person watching this right now will have been in the comparison trap at some point and not taken action because of it. So I want you to think about the thing that you didn't do or the decision that you didn't make. Don't regret it because you can't change it. But if you do regret it, then think about what you would do differently next time. So that's pretty much it. Thank you so much for all the love on my recent videos. I'm so glad you're happy the vlogs are back because I love filming those. And if you're new around here, thank you so much for subscribing. I love your intention and the fact that you want to have this conversation with me. So welcome to our little community. That's all for today, vloggers. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Make sure you subscribe for more strategy solutions so you can get one step closer to a breakthrough. You just bossed it.